first thing we're going to do is the discussion action on the November 15th, 2017 meeting minutes.
I move we approve.
I'll second.
A motion, a second.
Price?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes. Next is discussion action on the November financial report. Jody, I think you're up.
Okay. Starting off, we have $611,039.13, $1,000 for the message sign maintenance and repair, $1,000 for the promotional video, $29,690 to the Back to You marketing, $10,000 to the ARC shade structure, $6,000 to the Alva Chamber of Commerce Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center, $2,150 to the OML Community Leadership Development, $15,000 to the Alva Fire Department training, $5,000 to the Southwest Country Fest, $500 for future, $2,500 for standing, which leaves us with $538,199.13. And we have paid for the Southwest Country Fest. That's why it's bolded.
And they use that as a deposit to one of the big artists, so they're cranking.
I move we approve the financial report.
Second.
Price?
Yes.
Charles? Norman?
Yes.
Next item is discussion action on the Big Cruise and Car Show, not to exceed $26,300. That's you guys.
All right. I'm Joe Phillips, and this is David Ingram, and we are co-directors of the Big Cruise and Car Show, Bank Central Big Cruise and Car Show. We've been doing it, well, we've actually been doing it for, this will be our third year, right, David?
Yes.
With us together. And David is also the president of our club, which is a race club, who actually is the club that sponsors or puts the car show together, along with the Chamber of Commerce and several volunteers. We are asking for $26,300, which I think most of you know that this car show has been going on. Well, we've had it for 17 years. We're looking at the 18th year. We bring in lots and lots and lots of people. I think it's estimated about 5,000 people, spectators, plus, you know, the registered entrants and their what we list as their co-pilots. And we have several youth events where we also add those. So we're looking at close to 6,000 people total on the Alva Square. You can also look and see where some of those people are coming from. Not a ton of them are from of the spectators are from out of town, but quite a few of them. You know, we look at about spectators 5% from 120 miles and 15% from 60 to 120 miles. But one thing that may be a little bit misleading, if you look at all that, of our participants, at least 28% of those, at least 53 in the 19, so you're looking at 72% of those people are coming from more than 60 miles. So for the most part, most of those people are staying all night in Alva. You know, it's not just a one-night deal. It's actually Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. So the motels, I know we have a lot more motels now than we used to, but you know, before we added the new motels, it was like almost impossible to get a motel during that weekend. But I'm sure there's some that are still available, but for the most part, the motels are, you know, used up. You know, like I say, for the most part, not completely full, but there's a lot of people in town, a lot of people spend money on gasoline, a lot of people eating. I think we had like 12 vendors for our food vendors downtown. So they're spending money there. We also get a little bit of money back from our food vendors. And one thing about that too, all those food vendors are not outside of town. There's several of those people that are local. The food vendors are. So I'm not going to say it's the biggest, but if it's not the biggest, it comes in pretty darn close to being the largest event for Alva, Oklahoma, weekend event for Alva, Oklahoma.
And it has grown year after year after year so far. And we expect it to grow a little bit. We've got more people calling us from out of town, bringing their clubs in. So that would amount to more people coming to town and staying, eating. So talking about growth, it shows on here 14.1% growth. We probably didn't have as many entries last year as we've had in the past, but I'm sure we had more cars. If you were down here, there was really hardly no room at all. But we didn't have as many motorcycles, mainly because of the weather that we had that weekend. It wasn't bad in Alva, but it was bad, as far away as Enid and some of those other places, which kept some of those motorcycle people from coming, especially on Sunday morning, which is when a lot of those people show up for our drag races on Sunday morning. So I don't know exact numbers, but somewhere in the 440, 450 range was our entry number this last year. So anyway, again, there's I think we have on here that our total expenses are around $60,115. There's a sheet there that shows revenue, expenses, and what we're asking from the tourism committee. I think it is. It's 43.75% of the money that we plan on spending. We're asking that much money from the tourism department, which is $26,300. Anything else, David, that you can think of? It's all listed right there, but as stated, it has grown from year to year, and we anticipate it growing more yet. That's our ultimate goal.
So your expenses are more than your revenue. How are you going to make up the difference?
Well, that's a good question, Bryce, and I was kind of prepared for that. Kind of, I should say. But we had that same issue this last year, and we have people. I'm not here to name names, but we had a couple of people step up last year and gave money right at the end to help kind of cover that. And one of the things that we had an issue with last year was our insurance went up quite a bit. If you'll see on here, our insurance now is $5,400 that we have on our expenses. Last year it was only about $1,000. But anyway, we had a couple people step up and give a little bit of extra money. So, we're thinking that, and also another thing that we had last year, we ended up having more sponsorship money. So this $22,000 is kind of the number that we have for our sponsors right now, but we will go out and try to raise more money than that number shows. So that's kind of the answer to that addition there.
What did you raise last year on sponsorship, you said?
I think it was $22,000. That's what we raised total. Well, and I say that, Dr. Tucker, it would have actually been more than that, because we had, like I said, we had a few people. I know of 2 people stepped up at the end and said, "Hey, here's another couple $1,000."
It was just a donation at the end.
Right. So it wasn't really.
It really wasn't sponsorship. It was more donations
Right.
from some very, very kind people in Alva. Alva supports the car show really well.
What's the sanitation expense?
Those are for porta potties. And last year I think we spent the $1,200 on the porta potties. We actually had a few more that we were supposed to bring in. We were supposed to bring in 4 more, but the Enid actually ran out of them. So we only ended up spending $1,200 on the porta potties. We got larger ones this last year. We had 4 of the larger ones for handicapped porta potties, and I think we ended up with, now don't quote me, but I think it was about 14 of those that we spread out throughout the grounds.
And it's stated that the show's gotten bigger, Bryce, and so we've had to expand those too and put them more around the square and stuff.
The other part of the sanitation on the expenses part, we actually last year we hired Northwestern Baseball team, not because I used to be the coach there, but it just happened to be the one that we were able to find to come and help with picking up trash. And I don't know if you were ever there after the show or the next morning, but they did an unbelievable job for
Phenomenal.
It makes it a lot easier when you have 50 kids come down and picking up trash and just like us 8 or 10 old men out there trying to get it done. And I shouldn't say 8 or 10 old men, because there were some of our wives that were there as well. Don't want to leave them out on that part of it. But anyway, and I didn't say they were old ladies either. So anyway, any other questions you can think of?
On entertainment, $7,300 seems like a lot of, what does that really cover?
7,300 on
Entertainment.
Oh, entertainment. Okay. Those are things such as like when we bring in, last year we brought in Ed Munster, which was, he brought in a couple of cars from the show. What was the show called? The Munsters?
The Munsters.
Okay, the Munster show. Anyway, that cost us about $2,500. And then we also brought in, we had two of the street outlaws from Oklahoma City that have a TV show. We had two of those people coming in, and then one of them ended up canceling out because he blew his motor up. But that $7,300, that's part of that entertainment. We can also, the other things that we do for the entertainment are things like the dyno, bands that we may bring in. That's some of our entertainment, I guess, that I can think of off the top of my head.
So we really don't have a set amount. That's a guesstimation.
Well, we don't have that. That's about what we spent last year. We do not have our events as far as who's coming in scheduled. We'll have at least one street outlaw. We've actually spent more than that before. I know a few years back when we first started bringing those street outlaws in, we brought in a couple of the top dogs.
Yeah, it depends which street outlaw you get and how high up the ladder they are, of course. So the higher they are, the more you pay. But
one that I've been trying to get come in is Farm Truck and Asian, but we can't afford them. They're about $15,000. So but they're the top dog. But we had a couple of them, Doc and Dominator. We had Norfolk got those people in the very first year that we brought those street outlaws, and that was probably our biggest jump in the amount of people. You'd be surprised how many people actually come to see those guys.
and they was in the crowd, signatures, entertaining the audience too. During the street burnouts, they was out on the microphone. So.
Well, I'm kind of living for the day when you come in and you say you're asking for 4,000 less instead of 4,000 more.
Right.
I hope that someday that happens.
That would be nice, but it's awful hard whenever it's growing from year to year.
No,
and,
but
and it's a free car show.
Well, it is the largest free car show in the state of Oklahoma, but I understand where you're coming from, and I think that, hopefully that's coming in the near future. There's going to be a time, obviously, with the size of the town and the amount of room that we have, there's going to be a time when we can't expand any farther. I'm going to say, that number is around 500, maybe 550 is where we're looking, that we can't really go a whole heck of a lot farther than that. And one thing too, I know that we're looking at a little bit more than what last year was. I think maybe what is that, about 3 or 2,500, something like that, more. But the things go up in price every year too. It's not, we don't get the same bang for the buck every single year, I guess.
You say it's the biggest free car show. Is that free to the entry people or free to the spectators, or both?
Both.
All the above.
Yeah. Now, there's only a couple of things. I mean, of course, obviously, if you come and you buy food or something from the vendors, you're going to pay some money. But at the same time, we have 2 free meals. There's a free meal on Sunday morning at the Extreme, and then there's a free meal on Friday night in front of the old Chamber building that some of our sponsors put on. So, but yes, it doesn't cost a fan anything, nor does it cost a participant. We do a lot of, and if you go to most any other car show, participants are going to pay to go out and tear their tires up on the burnout, and they're gonna pay for a, to race or whatever, or for the dyno, they're gonna pay for the dyno, whatever it might be. So ours is free.
But that's another thing is what's bringing everybody back from out of town into Alva too, is it's a free car show. You know, a lot of them has told me through the years that they would rather come here and have it free, and they say that our show is one of the best that they've been to, so that's a big decision on their part. Should I pay to go, or should I go to Alva where the entertainment and everything else is better and it's a free car show?
Well, when we say it's free, it doesn't cost a ton of money. Like I know when I went over to Fairview last year, it cost you $20 to enter, $20 or $25 to enter, which it's not that $25 so much for that one show. But a lot of these people that come to our car show, they're going not just to Fairview, but they go to Fairview, and then the next week they come to Alva. Week after that, they go to another place. Before long, it does add up quite a bit of money, and some of them bring more than one vehicle. We're talking about 20. It's free for all the events and all the vehicles that you may bring, and some people like Arden may bring more than one.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what item it is here, but the ones we're participating in, you've got a line item by, out here
Yes,
for the tourism type.
yes, over here it'd be on the far right.
Third column.
Expense item requested.
On your expense column over here in the middle,
Yes.
let's say that your advertising comes in at say 8,000, 8,600. Does that lower our, or are you set on that amount?
Well, so far we've been set on that amount because of the contract we have with the people doing the brochures and stuff.
I'm just wondering if any of these things, if they come in less and we're participating, does our
I see. The percentage wise?
participation get dubbed down, accordingly?
Well,
In other words, we're paying 47% or whatever it is, 43%.
Uh-huh. I understand where you're coming from on that, and
So let me ask you a question there, Joe, before you,
Yep.
which I think can kind of clear that up a little bit. Did you use all the money last year?
Oh, no, we did not. We were short. I don't remember the exact number, but we were short on how much money that we actually asked for at the end. So I guess in response to that answer, yeah, we don't necessarily look at that and say we're going to get the whole entire 6,700, but we were short a little bit of money on that on the recoup. And I wish I could tell you that exact number, Dr. Tucker, but I'm not 100% sure what that is. But I know I'm going to say it was in the $1,000 range, but I don't know exactly the number on that. That's something we could ask our treasurer.
a while ago, you said that one of the reasons you are asking for $3,000 more than you asked for last year because all your expenses are going up. And I can't argue that because they are, and I know that. But is at the same time your expenses are going up, our income's going down.
Right.
And quite a bit actually compared to last year so far. And so that's kind of what we're concerned about.
Right.
I know our, as you heard a while ago, our funds seem relatively high in our bank account, but someday our motel hotel tax could even get lower, and then we'd start using a lot of that money instead of money we have coming in. So
Right.
that's some of the concerns we have.
Right. I mean, I remember when we first came here 2 years ago, when I first came here 2 years ago, I don't remember what we were asking for at that time, but I know that the number that you had was a lot larger than that 530,000 or something like that you have right now. So, I mean, I'm totally aware of that. And that's, something that we're definitely going to have to put into consideration for future times.
But because I think the car show is one of the biggest things that goes on in Alva, and there's a lot of people that do help with it, and it brings a lot of people into town. And it is free. I'm gonna make a motion that we give the race club their 26, or not to exceed $26,300.
Second.
Charles,
Yes.
Bryce,
Yes.
Normal.
Yes.
Thank you for your guys' time. We appreciate it very much.
Brett, thank you for the hard work.
Is it right for us to go? Or do you want us to stay?
You can do whatever you want to, but I think our meeting's over.
Oh,
We just have remarks by the tax committee. Anybody has anything? Charles been, I know they're working on the arena, and it's been in the paper a lot.
Yep,
It's
got applicants for the position that we're trying to fill.
awesome.
Good there.
It looks like it's moving along. That is exciting for the town. That is crazy.
I wish it'd go faster, but it just don't.
Yeah.
Baby steps, huh?
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like it.
And I also saw where they're planning an air race for Alva in June.
I
At the
didn't,
airport.
oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
They didn't report that yesterday at city council meeting either.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big Plain Plastics is sponsoring the deal.
Cool.
Kind of an air
I
show
knew-
type of thing.
I knew there's also a chance that, Mayor Parker reported earlier at one council meeting that there's and I'll probably mess it all up, but some women's fly group that goes across the United States or something, and they're looking at having our airport be one of their stops.
That's part of that air race thing.
So is that part of that? Okay. That's good.